What do you think of when you see a beautiful little hummingbird? Upon seeing a hummingbird on a limb of a tree, I took my slingshot and pebble and knocked it out of the tree, stone dead.
Today, you are about to witness the ramblings of an old cult leader. These ramblings might seem humorous at first glance. Oh, look at Grandpa Sam talking about hummingbirds. But let's remember, this old man has 8 million people following his directions. Just to refresh your memories, Samuel Hurd is one of the 8 members of the governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses. The only black member ever to be in the governing body among a sea of white men. So you can be sure, Mr. Hurd had to kiss extra ass to get where he is. As a young man, Samuel served 2 years in the US military. Shortly after, he was recruited into the religion by the girl who would later be his wife. Totally selfless motives right there, right? After decades of serving in the field, Sam was appointed as a governing body member in 1999, along 2 other crazies, David Splain and Stephen Lett. That is 23 years of being a governing body member. Sam is now around 80 years old, but is he still capable of rational thinking? You be the judge. And you know what to do with every XGW video? Hit that like button and subscribe, that way YouTube recommends these videos to more people. Without further ado, let's begin.
So you think, or you may say, I know what it means to have a thorn in the flesh. I feel it. It hurts. It's like stepping on a sharp needle with your bare foot. It hurts. But now here's a question. Is that is 1, needle in your foot that bad? Just 1 thorn in the flesh hurts. But what can hurt worse? Take a look. Ooh. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this man. This man fell into a pile of thorny barberry branches, and when he tried to get up, he fainted from pain because by thousands of needle-like thorns were in his flesh. So the following 6 years, both he and doctors picked barbs from the body, totaling 32,131 thorns. Whew. That hurts. Now, what did I hear you say about your 1 needle? But you say, but it's hard to take, Brother Hurd. It hurts and it's perplexing. It's getting me down. Well, can you still walk? Can you move about?
Look at this Christ-like attitude, mocking the voices of those who are afflicted by, quote-unquote, 1 thorn. What if that thorn is a terminal illness, Mr. Hurd? What if the thorn is being pressured to shun your unbelieving family? Or being imprisoned because of your faith? Here we see a man totally devoid of sympathy. He's basically saying, get over yourself, there's always someone with more thorns. Very comforting. This is also not the first time Sam uses his mocking voice. Remember when he mocked parents of children who made drawings of him and his buddies?
We get so many little letters from beautiful little children. Why? Well, parents tell them that we're something, the governing body. You ought to write the governing body, honey. And they do. They draw pictures of us. Good night alive. But they mean well. We know that. Parents mean well.
We're not putting them down.
What a nasty old man. Who mocks children when they make a drawing of you? Come on, dude.
Paul didn't let his needle, whatever it was, get him down. He had to live with it. And with Jehovah's help, you too will be able to handle the discomfort. Now think about it. When did you get your thorn? Was it before your dedication and baptism? Before you were baptized, you prayed earnestly from the depths of your heart to Jehovah for forgiveness. Now you must accept his merciful forgiveness. but it still hurts from time to time. Paul didn't say it wouldn't. Yes, you were knocked down, but not trampled on beyond movement. So what do we say? We say, stand up. Get off the ground. Get on your feet. Move forward toward the new world. It's just around the corner.
Have you ever heard your grandpa take a simple story and stretch it out as far longer than necessary? Well, this is what this feels like. Samuel rambles on about the thorn in the flesh, takes long pauses, invents new words on the spot,
Thorny barberry branches,
and rarely takes his eye off his notes. He even states the exact number of thorns inside this man's body.
32,131 thorns.
I thought this number would be significant later on, but no, it's just a random number he made up.
It hurts.
No, Samuel, it wouldn't just hurt, the man would be fucking dead. It's funny to think that Samuel had to directly commission the art department to illustrate his silly talk. Oh yeah, please draw me a man with a bunch of thorns screaming in pain. Mr. Hurd, you want us to include 32,131 thorns? Best we could do is a few branches.
It's just around the corner.
Just around the corner. Samuel Hurd has been hearing the same message since he converted 60 years ago. I think this is the longest corner in history ever.
Here's something to think about. Think about King David. He got another man's wife pregnant, and then he tried to hide it, but couldn't. So he had him killed. Now, he repented from the heart, and Jehovah forgave him. However, Jehovah did not eliminate the painful consequences of his sin. Their effects were to continue with David for the rest of his sinful, imperfect life.
Actually, in the Bible text, the consequence of David's actions are a direct punishment by Jehovah, including murdering the son of Bathsheba, who had nothing to do with the whole mess. Again, not a very comforting passage, Mr. Hurd. Now here comes the big revelation.
What do you think of when you see a beautiful little hummingbird? Isn't that something? What comes to my mind when I see one? Me at the age of 12 or 13, walking in the woods near my house, upon seeing a hummingbird on a limb of a tree, I took my slingshot and pebble and knocked it out of the tree, stone dead. I wasn't in the truth at the time. I killed a beautiful little bird. For what reason? Couldn't eat it. Well, maybe to prove to myself that I was a dead shot with my slingshot. Jehovah created the colorful little bird to bring delight to the eye. Well, that's a sad experience. That's mine, it's not yours. But do you have one? A sad experience?
Is it just me, or does this seem like a confession of sorts? I think Sam has been waiting decades for this opportunity. Who kills hummingbirds? This is like some serial killer in the making kind of thing, you know? But it's incredible to see the hypocrisy of this man right here. He regrets killing a hummingbird, but notice how he rambled on about murdering human beings once he makes it to heaven.
So when the anointed are called to heaven, one of the first assignments is to fight. Yeah. Now that's interesting. Some of us were fighters before we became true Christians. Some even served in various branches of the military. Didn't they, Brother Morris? Some were Green Berets, not Brother Morris. But then we became Christians. We learned the way of peace and we let go of such warfare. Figuratively speaking, we pulled the pin on our last hand grenade and tossed it into the air, killing no one or nothing. Just a loud Ka-boom. But in heaven, we will serve along with Christ and his holy angels, waging the final war against God's enemies. So if you've ever thought that you might feel left in the lurch after the anointed are taken to heaven, think of this. On earth, none of us Christians are allowed to fight. Many of us anointed ones are too old to fight, even if we were allowed to. But in heaven, we will be mighty, immoral spirit creatures, fighting alongside our warrior king, Jesus Christ. Believe me, we can and will do you significant more good in heaven than we ever could as imperfect humans here on this earth.
This man fantasizes on the prospect of becoming a spirit creature and destroying God's enemies in Armageddon. And who are God's enemies? Every human being that does not recognize him and his buddies as the brothers of Christ. Even babies will not be spared. Look at how he shakes his fist at the thought of global genocide, and his grunt at the end like an animal. Samuel has more compassion for one hummingbird than for 8 billion people that he plans to murder soon. Just around the corner type of soon. This is a man with a moral compass that has been destroyed by 6 decades of Watchtower indoctrination. He's only a shell of his former self. And the worst part is, there are millions of Jehovah's Witness families at this very moment being torn apart by the words of this psychopath.
Some painful experiences may not quickly leave the brain after repentance and God's forgiveness. But what do we say? We say, don't dwell on them. Don't keep them before your eyes all the time. Push them aside by thinking about good things. Why not open the door to your brain and mind and let the good things come in? Simply put a bandage on your thorn a little while longer. Jehovah will pluck it out very soon now.
And this, dear viewer, is the perfect encapsulation of Watchtower's approach to everything. Put a little band-aid on it a little while longer. Children are being abused in our organization? Leave it in Jehovah's hands. Are you living in poverty? Pray to God for help and keep busy serving us. Are you being oppressed by your government? Shut up and wait for God's kingdom to fix everything. The band-aid will not stay on forever, Samuel heard. The corporation you have helped create is slowly crumbling down. Every activist that rises up against you is one more thorn poking at the heels of your beloved cult. The hour of judgment is now, Samuel. So what do you think of Uncle Sam's ramblings? Let me know in the comments below. First of all, I would like to thank my beautiful Patreons for the support they bring me. If you want to support my activism, head on over to Patreon for only $1 a month. You get early access to all my videos and you help me keep the channel running. If you're not able to help at this moment, don't worry. Liking and subscribing is more than enough. This has been your host Panda. We'll see you next time.